Good evening, everyone. Welcome to this evening's City of Somerville Condo Review Board dated Monday, May 19th, 2025. Pursuant to Chapter 2 of the Acts of 2025, this meeting of the Condo Review Board will be conducted via remote participation. We will post an audio recording, audio-video recording, transcript, or other comprehensive record of these proceedings as soon as possible after the meeting on the City of Somerville website and local cable access government channels. Morena, if you can please conduct a roll call vote to ensure we have a quorum.
Okay. Chair Zaslav,
Present.
Vice Chair Byrne,
Present.
Board Member Simeon,
Present.
Board Member Solis, Board Member Solis. Board Member Solis is absent with 3 in attendance. We have a quorum.
All right. On that note, I will now call this evening's meeting to order. First item of business for the board this evening will be reviewing the meeting minutes of April 2025. But before we proceed, I'd just like to acknowledge Board Member Solis has joined tonight's meeting. Morena, if you could update the public records to reflect her attendance.
Okay, will do.
All right. And now proceeding with the agenda, we have the meeting minutes from April 2025. Open the floor for board discussion. If anyone on the board has any edits or changes they'd like to see made to April's meeting minutes.
No.
All right. Seeing there are no changes for the meeting minutes, if we can conduct a roll call vote to approve those meeting minutes.
Okay, this is a vote to approve the meeting minutes for April 2025. Chair Zaslav,
Yes.
Vice Chair Byrne,
Yes.
Board Member Simeon,
Yes.
Board Member Solis.
Yes.
The motion passes.
All right, great. Thank you. Moving along, we have new business, and the first new business the board will undertake this evening are those applications for final and/or courtesy permits, with the first application from the board being 3 Church Street, and that is the application of Jim Lin, Jenny Chen, who are in front of the board seeking the final conversion permits for Unit 2 at 3 Church Street. I'm sorry, units 1 and 2.
Ms. Chen, you've been unmuted.
Yes, I'm here.
Hi, Ms. Chen. You're back in front of the board seeking the final conversion permit. We were waiting on the 2 outstanding documents, the master deed and the engineer's report. You now have those in hand. I will make a motion to open the floor for board discussion. If there's any comments from the board for the applicant who's in front of us seeking the final conversion permit.
No comment.
They're asking if you want to say anything else before they proceed.
Just have
Camera's not on.
Okay. No other commentary or questions from the board. Motion to close the floor for board discussion and make a motion open the floor for public commentary. If anyone in the virtual audience would like to speak in favor or against the application seeking final permit tonight for 3 Church Street Unit 2, now would be the time to do so.
I don't see any hands.
All right, public commenting period is now closed, and moving along with the 2 outstanding documents now submitted. I see no other reasons to hold up this final conversion, so I'll make a motion for the board to vote on the final conversion permit for Unit 2 at 3 Church Street.
Okay, this is a vote for the final conversion permit for Unit 2 at 3 Church Street. Chair Zaslav,
Yes.
Vice Chair Byrne,
Yes.
Board Member Simeon,
Yes.
Board Member Solis.
Yes.
The motion passes.
Thank you very much.
Oh,
All right. Have a good night. Moving along, next application from the board is 20 Alston Street. It's the application of Dazao Chen, who's seeking a final conversion permit for units 1, 2, and 3 at 20 Alston Street.
Yes, I'm here for 20 Alston Street.
Hi there. Can you please just state your name for the record?
Yep, my name is Kirsten McElhaney.
Okay. And I believe we, again, we're awaiting the master deed and engineer's report.
I submitted all of those with the remaining parts of my application.
Yeah, we have them in hand, which completes all outstanding items. I will now make a motion for the board for comments or questions for the applicant. Seeing there's no discussion amongst the board, motion to close the floor and motion to open the floor for public commentary. If anyone in the virtual audience would like to speak in favor or against the final conversion permit for 20 Alston Streets, units 1, 2, and 3, now would be the time to do so.
I don't see any hands.
All right, motion to close the public commenting period. In reviewing the two outstanding documents, we now have the master deed and engineer's report, which concludes the full application. At this time, I see no other reason to hold up the approval, and we'll make a motion for the board to vote on the final conversion permit for units 1, 2, and 3 located at 20 Alston Street.
Okay, this is a vote for final conversion permits for units 1, 2, and 3 at 20 Alston Street. Chair Zasloff,
Yes.
Vice Chair Byrne,
Yes.
Board Member Simeon,
Yes.
Board Member Solis.
Yes.
The motion passes.
Thank you. Have a good evening.
Thank you.
Moving through the agenda, next application is the application of 230-232 Powder House Boulevard. It's the application of Michael and Anna Whitman seeking the final conversion permits for only unit 232 located at 230-232 Powder House Boulevard.
Hi, this is Michael Whittam. I'm here for 232.
Hi there, Michael. Looks like we were the only two outstanding items were the master deed and the engineer's report, which we have in hand at this time. Seeing there's no other outstanding items, I will make a motion to open the floor for board discussion or questions for the applicant. All right, seeing there is no other commentary from the board, motion to close the floor and make a motion to open the floor for public commentary. If anyone in the virtual audience would like to speak in favor or against the final conversion permit for 230-232 Powder House Boulevard, unit 232, now would be the time to do so.
I don't see any hands.
All right. Motion to close the public commentary. In reviewing the application, all outstanding documents are in hand. Looks like there is still a notice period that needs to elapse for 230, unit 230, which they will come back in front of the board at some time. So in regards to unit 232, I am comfortable making a motion for the board to vote on the final conversion permit for units 232 located at 230-232 Powder House Boulevard.
Okay, this is a vote for a final conversion permit for unit 232 at 230-232 Powder House Boulevard. Chair Zasloff,
Yes.
Vice Chair Byrne,
Yes.
Board Member Simeon,
Yes.
Board Member Solis.
Yes.
The motion passes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, next application seeking a final conversion permit is that of 49 Tennyson Street. They're represented by attorney Mark Sheehan, and this is the application of David Yates, Mallory Ferrero, Michael Ferrero, and Sandra Ferrero, seeking a final conversion permits for units 1 and 2 located at 49 Tennyson Street.
Yes, Mark Sheehan of Adam Dash and Associates, attorney for David Yates, Mallory Ferraro, Michael Ferraro, and Sandro Ferraro of 49 Tennyson Street in Somerville. My clients are seeking final conversion permits for units 1 and 2 of this multifamily residence. My clients purchased the property vacant and they have used it for owner occupancy for their entire ownership as stated in their affidavits. We have submitted a complete application to the board, including the master deed and property condition report. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Attorney Sheehan. All right, on that note, I will motion to open the floor for board discussion. If anyone on the board has any questions or comments for the attorney representing 49 Tennyson. No questions from the board. Motion to close the floor. Make a motion to open the floor for public commentary. If anyone in the virtual audience would like to speak in favor or against the final conversion permits for units 1 and 2 located at 49 Tennyson Street, now would be the time to do so.
I don't see any hands.
All right, public commentary is now closed. As the attorney stated, we have all the documents to complete the application process. There's no waiting period due to the owner occupancy. We have the certificate of good standing, paid water bill, quitclaim deed, master deed, engineer's report, and a check in the amount of $1,200 to cover the 2 units. At this time, I'm comfortable making a motion for the board to vote on the final conversion permits for units 1 and 2 located at 49 Tennyson Street.
Okay, this is a vote for final conversion permits for units 1 and 2 at 49 Tennyson Street. Chair Zasloff,
Yes.
Vice Chair Byrne,
Yes.
Board Member Simeon,
Yes.
Board Member Solis.
Yes.
The motion passes.
All right. Have a good evening.
Thank you, you as well.
Thank you. Moving along, we now have the next application, which is 54 Springfield Street, represented by Attorney Vigorito. And that is the application of 54 Springfield Street LLC, Earl Henry and John Mahoney, seeking a final conversion permits for units 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, and 3 at 54 Springfield Street.
Good afternoon, Attorney Brianna Rowland. I'm covering for Attorney Vigorito. We are with the law offices of Richard D. Girolamo. Our client, 54 Springfield Street LLC, has submitted for your consideration the master deed along with the structural engineer's report for the final approval for a final conversion permits for units 1, 2, and 3 at 54 Springfield Street.
Thank you very much. At this time, I will make a motion to open the floor for questions or comments from the board for the representative of 54 Springfield Street. Seeing there's no discussion questions, motion to close the floor for board discussion. Motion to open the public commentary period. If anyone in the virtual audience would like to speak in favor or against the applications for units 1, 2, and 3 located at 54 Springfield Street, now would be the time to do so.
I don't see any hands.
All right. Motion to close the public commentary. In reviewing the application, all outstanding documents are now submitted. The last 2 remaining were the master deed and engineer's report, which complete the application. Seeing there are no other outstanding documents needed, I am happy to make a motion for the board to vote on a final conversion permit for units 1, 2, and 3 located at 54 Springfield Street.
Okay, this is a vote for final conversion permits for units 1, 2, and 3 at 54 Springfield Street. Chair Zasloff,
Yes.
Vice Chair Byrne,
Yes.
Board Member Simeon,
Yes.
Board Member Solis.
Yes.
The motion passes.
Okay.
Thank you. Have a nice evening.
You too. Thank you. And moving along, next application On the agenda is the application of 94 Jacques Street. And that is the that's Jason Santana, and the application 94 Jacques Street, Somerville LLC. Jason Santana seeking final conversion permit for Unit A and a courtesy permit for Unit B at 94 Jacques.
Hi everyone. I'm Mariana. I'm here representing Jason Santana from North America Development. We received the preliminary permit for Unit A, and now we are applying for the final permit for Unit A and the courtesy permit for Unit 2. We have also submitted all the outstanding items, which includes the master deed and the property report.
Okay. Thank you very much. Motion to open the floor for board discussion. Any board members have any questions or comments for the applicant? All right, seeing there are no other questions. I do have one comment for the applicant. Can you just confirm the units? Are they the units in question? Is it Unit B or Unit 2?
Oh yeah. So initially it was Unit 1 and 2, but we had to apply for the address for the permit, and now it's Unit A and B.
Okay.
Okay.
That's for that clarification.
Mm-hmm.
We will update the records accordingly. Any other comments, questions from the board? Seeing there's none, motion to close the floor for board discussion and motion to open the floor for public commentary. If anyone would like to speak in favor or against the application 94 Jacques, units A and B, now would be the time to do so.
I don't see any hands.
All right. Thank you very much. Motion to close the public commentary. Seeing and reviewing the application, the two outstanding items in which we were awaiting to conclude the complete application are the master deed and engineer's report with both documents in hand. That concludes all outstanding documents and completes the application. At this time, I will make a motion for the board to vote on a final conversion permits for Units A and Unit B located at 94 Jacques Street.
Chair Zasloff, I'm going to make just a little bit of a correction if that's okay. It's a final conversion permit for Unit A and a courtesy permit for Unit B. Okay, this is a vote for a final conversion permit for Unit A and a courtesy permit for Unit B at 94 Jake Street. Chair Zasloff,
Yes.
Vice Chair Byrne,
Yes.
Board Member Simeon,
Yes.
Board Member Solis.
Yes.
The motion passes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Have a great evening.
Sure.
The last application for final conversion permits this evening is that of 27-29 Kingston Street, attorney Matthew Mantolis.
Hey, good evening, everyone. Thank you.
Good evening.
Yeah, so we are seeking final permit for all 3 units. I believe you have all materials, including the engineer report. The courtesy permit was provided on May 20th, 2024. First, units 2 and 3 have been owner occupied at all times. Unit 1 was previously tenanted, but when my clients purchased it, it was vacant. So we're now up almost at that 1 year waiting period.
Yep. Thank you very much. Motion open the floor for board discussion. Any questions, comments for the attorney representing 27-29 Kingston Street?
Chair Zasloff, if I could just make a correction.
Yes.
So Attorney Mentalo said that courtesy permits were issued back in May of 2024. And I just, I'm sure it was a misspeak, but it's a preliminary permits were issued. Not
My
courtesy
apologies.
permits. No, totally fine. Just want to make sure that the record is clear.
I was staring at the preliminary conversion permit. I still said courtesy. Sorry.
Yeah. All right.
why we have Morena to keep us all,
Yeah,
keep us all honest.
for sure.
Okay, at this point, motion to open the floor for board discussion. Any comments, questions for the applicant? Seeing no discussion, motion to close the floor for board discussion, motion to open the public commentary period. If anyone in the virtual audience would like to speak in favor of the final conversion permits for units 1, 2, and 3, located at 27-29 Kingston Street.
I don't see any hands.
All right, commentary, motion to close public commentary. And in reviewing the application, the 2 outstanding documents we were awaiting, the master deed and engineer's report has been submitted, which completes the application, and the 1-year period has subsided since the preliminary permit was issued last May. At this time, I'd like to make a motion for the board to vote on a final conversion permit for units 1, 2, and 3 located at 27-29 Kingston Street.
Okay, this is a vote for final conversion permits for units 1, 2, and 3 at 27-29 Kingston Street. Chair Zasloff,
Yes.
Vice Chair Byrne,
Yes.
Board Member Simeon,
Yes.
Board Member Solis.
Yes.
The motion passes.
Thank you very much, everyone. Hope you have a good evening.
You too. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Great, and we are on to the preliminary condo conversion permit portion of the agenda this evening with the first application, that of 13 Sargent Avenue. Application of Jesse Grogan, Timothy Armstrong, Lindsay DeFries Luckay, seeking preliminary rental conversion permits for units 1 and 2 at 13 Sargent Ave.
Yes, can you all hear me okay?
We can. We can please
Perfect.
name for the record.
Absolutely. So my name is Cameron McGinn, of Pressman and Kruskal. I am Jesse Grogan's, Timothy Armstrong, and Lindsay Luke's attorney. We are applying for a preliminary conversion permit, a rental conversion permit for 13 Sargent Avenue units 1 and 2. Brief history of the property. The property was bought vacant. Unit 1 was owner occupied for part of 2015, then briefly tenanted for part of 2016, owner occupied for part of 2016 to part of 2022, then tenanted for part of 2022 to June 2024. And then owner occupied from July 2024 to the present. Unit 2 was vacant for part of 2015, then owner occupied. It continued to be owner occupied until July 2024, and then was tenanted starting in August 2024 to the present. We have submitted the preliminary application. We have also submitted the affidavits showing that notice was given to the tenants in Unit 2. That notice was given on April 15th, and we have attached the completed tenant forms. We also, because there was a tenant in Unit 1 within the last 12 months, I suppose about 11 months ago or so, we have provided copies of our correspondence with that prior tenant, which you can see in the exhibits. With that, I'll open it for questions. I also do want to note that my client is here, Lindsay Luke specifically, and would like to speak to the board about the 1-year waiting period.
Right, we will allow her that opportunity. At this time, I'll make a motion, open the floor for board discussion, questions. Vice Chair Byrne.
Yeah, I just wanted, when when Ms. Luke comes on, I'd like to be able to ask questions then.
Any other pre-questions before we hear from the owner? If not, we'll open the floor to Miss Luke, and I'm sure that will spur some engagement. So the floor is Miss Luke's if you would like to make a statement.
Yes, thank you for hearing me. I want to say first of all that Jessica and Tim mentioned this, her husband, and they bought the property together in 2015.
I'm sorry, Miss Luke. At least on my end, I could not make out anything that was being
Oh dear.
trans.
Let's see. I don't. What do I need to do? Because I'm unmuted
now.
now.
Okay,
Can you
that's
hear me now?
better than what came across the first time.
Okay. Oops. I don't know what else to do to make it any louder or clearer.
Fine. So if you can just restate your original statement, we were not able to understand.
Okay, sure. I just want to clarify that Jessie Grogan is my daughter, Timothy Armstrong is her husband, and the three of us bought the property together in 2015. And we all lived here for, well, I guess 6 years, and then I've lived here for almost a year since then, so that I've been here for a total of 7 years of owner occupancy. And I understand that I'm 6 weeks shy of having the full year at the time of this application. I was just hoping that maybe my 6 years prior occupancy as an owner would somehow make it possible to waive that. I moved up here from Washington, D.C. 9 years ago to be near my grandchildren. And now that they have left the area, I really want to go home. I lived in Unit 1 as the owner occupant for 6 consecutive years from 2016 to 2022. Then from September 22nd until June 15th, I lived nearby. I rented Unit 1, my unit, furnished as short-term housing for fellows at Harvard. It contained all my belongings except some of my clothes. I didn't change my legal address, and I was there every 2 weeks to tend to the yard and the garden. I didn't have the intention of being gone for 22 months when I initially left. But I have identified a unit in the Washington area that's perfect for me. It's near the family and friends that I need to return to. I know the building, and best of all, I can afford it. The owner's willing to work with me, the owner of that unit, but it's clear that his patience won't last forever. When I first approached him, I thought I would be able to sell my Somerville home in July and buy his unit then. Clearly, I did not understand how the Somerville condo law works. But if there's any way you can find to give me credit for 7 years total owner occupancy for me to make up for my being 6 weeks shy of consecutive occupancy for the last year, I would greatly appreciate it. Thank you. And I'm
Great.
happy to entertain any questions you have.
Great. Thank you very much for that testimony. I will defer to my fellow board members, Vice Chair Byrne.
Yeah, I mean, I think I really appreciate your testimony, and I think it's really compelling. I want to know if we are absolutely bound by the ordinance. I know that that it was stated that this was pretty clearly stated in the ordinance, but do we have the power to actually do something different? I'm not clear about that.
From my understanding, we would. I'll defer to Morena. That way, we get, you know.
Yeah. The board would have to find that she has otherwise qualified for the exemption to the 1-year notice period. I'll just note that in the past, situations similar to this have come before the board, and the board has sort of been bound by the exact language of the ordinance. You know, every case has different facts, so, but yeah, it would be up to the board to find whether or not she otherwise qualifies.
Okay. How many, how is that happening for the first place? No, because the first time we have, it's like, do we have issue, previous issue like that, and where the board has to?
I think
do
we've
so?
applicants in the past come and make a case that didn't necessarily fall within the realm of serious consideration, I would say. So it made it easy to stick to the, you know, black and white language written into the ordinance. So I don't think there's an apples to apples comparison. Morena, correct me if I'm wrong there. I mean, we've had people ask for considerations in the past and we've ruled against them.
Yes, the one that the specific case I was thinking of was a 3-unit property where 2 were owner occupied and 1 had been previously used as a rental. And that the owner was then occupying, the same owner had sort of moved into that unit, and hadn't made the full time. And
Yeah.
the board held the notice period.
But if I recall, that individual, even though they've been owner, but they had been, I believe, developing properties.
I think you might be right, but I can't, yeah.
Okay. Board member Solis?
Yep, can you just to the owner, would you mind just saying again, I've got you on this the almost 7 years part, but what could you just give me the timeline of like the last, so you've been in for about 11 months, but what was right prior to, immediately prior to that?
Am I on for audio? Okay. Immediately prior to that, I rented the unit completely furnished for fellows who were coming to Harvard for usually a semester of study. I expected to be gone for a year to do some traveling, and you know, didn't quite work out that way. I ended up staying a little longer. There's some family issues involved, so that the last tenant left about June 15th, you know, 11 and what is that, 10 and a half months ago. And he's the one who's in Ottawa now, and you know, obviously wouldn't have had any interest in living there. But I think the significant thing is that it was my home for, you know, a very long time, 6 years before that, consistently. Does that help?
Yes, that's helpful. Can you just remind me, so he's in Ottawa now and so he hasn't been notified or he has?
Oh, yeah, yes, he has been notified and he responded that, of course, you know, I mean, he was from Paris here temporarily and, you know, would have no interest in staying and buying, you know, he was a strict temporary thing for him.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, I mean, to my fellow board members, and thank you for that, Ms. Luque. You know, I am definitely sympathetic, and I don't think 6 weeks is, you know, it can be a short amount of time or a long amount of time, I guess, depending on what side of it you're on. But it's not that I have reservations about like, I don't think that by not approving the consideration that we will be sort of like harming availability of property or rental units to Somervillians. You know, I don't think anything like that. My worry about approving a consideration would be that, you know, this is public record and it's just, I don't necessarily want to set a precedent that and I mean, without digging too much, you know, it doesn't sound like it's we would be doing this to like avoid homelessness or something of like an emergency level. And we, you know, so I just get nervous about setting a precedent and then being viewed as a non equitable
body, I guess, in the next time it's asked and we don't give a consideration having someone bringing up that we did here. So it's not that I'm not inclined to want to, it's just 6 weeks, not a big deal. She's lived, almost 7 years as owner occupied. Like, I'm inclined to be like, well, yeah, it's only 6 weeks. But I just don't know what that is when we want to say no in the future. And will I have will that be a little bit morally or ethically challenging if we want to say no in the future? So that's my 2 cents. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you for that, Board Member Solis. Board Member Simeon.
Well, it's like the same thing, because if we do it right now, we have to keep doing the same thing for whoever's come after that. And is that really an emergency? Well, but to do something right now, tomorrow, you will do the same thing. Is that correct? Is that what the ordinance said? Nope.
Yep. Thank you, Board Member Simeon. Well, I am compassionate for Ms. Luke's testimony and such, desire to, tie things up here in Somerville and move closer to friends and family. I am hesitant to set a standard, which, knowing the attorneys that represent this niche market in this community, they will seize every opportunity to leverage this vote in the future, and we will have almost, I would be surprised if 50% of the applications weren't asking for some sort of favorable vote by the board. So again, I would love to be able to, grant the ask tonight, but the precedent that it sets for future applications and the pressure it will put on this board, I personally will not be voting for the exception. But is there any other discussion amongst the board before we move along and open it up for public commentary?
I just want to say that, I agree with all of you that I mean, I was feeling the pain for her, and I still do. But I think that is correct, that held accountable for this in the future over and over again. I'm sorry that we can't move it.
Yeah, I think it just sets a precedent that we will have a very difficult time navigating as we go on with the board. So I think it's in the best interest of the ordinance and future hearings to stick with sort of previous the way we've previously handled exceptions, which was to lean on the ordinance and the framework that's been put in place for us to adhere to. So,
and I must say thank you for listening to me, and I totally understand that the law doesn't give you flexibility on this. So, but thanks for trying.
it doesn't hurt to ask. Thank you very much for your testimony. All right, on that note, motion to close the floor for board discussion. Motion to open the floor for public commentary. If anyone in the virtual audience would like to speak in favor or against the preliminary rental conversion permits for units 1 and 2 at 13 Sergeant Ave, now would be the time to do so.
I don't see any hands.
Great. Motion to close the public commentary and reviewing the preliminary conversion application and what's been submitted. Notice has been provided to previous tenants. We have their certificate of good standing dated 4/28. We have a paid water bill dated 4/16. We have the quitclaim deed. We have a check in the amount of $1,200 to cover the 2 units in question. This time, we are still awaiting a master deed and engineer's report to be submitted. So I am prepared to make a motion for the board to vote on a preliminary rental conversion permits for units 1 and 2 located at 13 Sargent Avenue on the condition that the master deed and engineer's report is submitted to city staff at a future date.
One moment. Or the master deed, that's not. Sorry, I just want to make sure. Oh, you're right. I apologize. Yes. Okay. This is a vote for preliminary rental conversion permits for units 1 and 2 at 13 Sargent Ave. Chair Zasloff,
Yes.
Vice Chair Byrne,
Yes.
Board Member Simeon,
Yes.
Board Member Solis.
Yes.
The motion passes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, moving along.
I'm sorry, I don't understand. I think everybody just approved preliminary permits for 1 and 2.
Yes, ma'am. The preliminary permits have been approved, but in order to sell the units, you would need final permits.
Oh, yes.
So that's you were asking for a final permit instead, or you were asking for a waiver of the notice period, which would have allowed for a quicker final permit. That's what was denied, but the preliminary permits themselves, you have those in hand. Now it's just a matter of waiting some time out.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Last item on this evening's agenda for preliminary conversion permit is 140 Highland Avenue, and Attorney Cameron McGinn, again representing this application of Michael
The G. Yes, Cameron McGinn from Pressman and Kruskal, representing Mike G and Teresa Jane Gabriel for 140 Highland, units 1 and 2. We are seeking a preliminary conversion permit. Quick history of the property. It was purchased vacant in March of 1987. Michael purchased the property with his then spouse. They lived in the property until 1991 when they moved to Medford. Unit 1 was tenanted from 1991 to 2010, after which point Michael moved in. His now ex-spouse conveyed her interest in the property to Michael in 2011 pursuant to their divorce agreement. Michael has lived in the property, Unit 1, since that time, 2010 to the present. Very recently, he added his now wife, Teresa Jane, goes by Jane, to the deed. In terms of Unit 2, it was owner occupied, until 1991, as stated. Then it was tenanted from 1991 to July 2023. After that point, Michael's elderly father was going to live in the property, but circumstances changed and his father ended up not moving into the property. The property has been vacant since that time, since July 2023. The application contains property information, affidavit C, our certificate of good standing, final water, deed, a copy of the check, and an affidavit of owner occupancy with supporting documentation. We have provided a tax bill showing the residential exemption and then 12 months of utility bills. So we ask for the board's consideration.
All right. Thank you very much. Motion to open the floor for board discussion. Any questions, comments for Attorney McGinn? Seeing there's no discussion for the representative. Motion to close the floor for board discussion and motion to open the floor for public commentary for 140 Highland Avenue, units 1 and 2. Unit 1 seeking a preliminary non-rental conversion permit. Unit 2 seeking a preliminary rental conversion permit.
I don't see any hands.
Thank you. I will motion to close the floor for public commentary. In reviewing the application, we have the residential exemption. We have the certificate of good standing dated 4/17. We have a paid water bill as of 3/28. We have a quitclaim deed submitted, a check in the amount of $1,200. At this time, we are still awaiting a master deed and an engineer architect's report. So at this time, I am comfortable making a motion for the board to vote on a conditional preliminary non-rental conversion permit for Unit 1 and a preliminary rental conversion permit for Unit 2 at 140 Highland Avenue, conditioned on the master deed and engineer's report being submitted at a future date to city staff.
Okay, this is a vote for a preliminary non-rental conversion permit for Unit 1 and a preliminary rental conversion permit for Unit 2 at 140 Highland Ave, conditioned as Chair Zasloff just stated. Chair Zasloff?
Yes.
Vice Chair Byrne?
Yes.
Board Member Simeon?
Yes.
Board Member Solis? Board Member Solis? Oh, you're muted. No, I needed to be said aloud.
But we've lost board member Solis.
Yeah, she might be trying to log out and log back in.
There she is.
Apologies, that was a yes, sorry.
Thank you. The motion passes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Good night. And with that, concludes the March 19th condo review board hearing. And now I will make a motion to adjourn. If we can get a...
I will second that for May 19th.
May 19, yes.
Very good. Meeting adjourned.
Good night, everybody.
Good night,
Good night.
everyone.
Good night.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Sorry about that at the end there.
That's okay.
Bye, Marina.
Bye.